Hello and welcome to Life with PB. It's a privilege and an honor to be here and be able to share with you today. And today I'm going to talk to you about managing your emotions. If there is a big lesson I've learned in life, is the fact that we need to learn to manage our emotions. As a younger lady, every time I am exhausted, and I get exhausted quite, a lot. And I know that many of you understand that because, I was juggling a lot of balls, or so I tell myself. So as a mom, a young mom, as a wife, as somebody that volunteers heavily in my church, local church charity, my workplace, and very responsible in my family and my extended family as well. So I had so much on my plate. And I remember I max out every single day. As far as I'm concerned, I really max out every single day. I do above and beyond. And that what that meant for me was I was always tired. And I remember I'll be coming from work, and on my way home, I'm really exhausted. I'm really emotional. So much so that if I walk through the door, the first thing my children used to say is, "Mom, you're tired, right? You don't want to talk. You don't want me to say you anything." And it became a norm for them to say that. And at some point, I just thought, I don't like this. I really don't want the children saying, "Mom, you're tired, right?" It's not just that. Then I realized it flows into other parts of the evening in the family as well. So I walk into the kitchen and I see the plates in the sink and I get all worked up, all upset because of that. And that's just spoil the mood for the evening in the house. And one day I just told myself, you know what, Bola, you are in charge of your emotions and you can manage your emotions. It doesn't matter how tired you are in charge of your emotions and you can manage your emotions. And I realized as I looked at that, I decided I was going to start managing my emotions. My situation did not change, just my response to my situation changed. In line with that, I also realized that I know a few people in my workplaces that, every so often they have this outburst because they've had enough, and everybody looks at you like an alien simply because their emotions are not managed. And right after that, there's so much tension in the team, tension in the environment, and things never go back to the same because someone has said things they're not meant to say because emotions were not properly managed. And that's how important and expensive emotions can be if you don't learn to manage them. They are great. Emotions are fantastic. They are things that make us special and who we are, the smile, the personality, the bubbly nature, and the, exhaustion, all the things that we feel, the fear, the anger, it's all good. It just needs to be managed. They're great responses to the situations of life. It's actually how God created us. It's how God made us. But the question is, how will you manage your emotions? How do you come across to people? Do people think that you're always tired? Like my children used to think about me. Or do people think that you're an angry person? Or do they think that you're a moody person? Your emotions can determine your attitude, and your attitude can actually become your label. So be very, very careful that you don't get labeled, and then you expect everybody to understand. No. I want to tell you a few things to do with your emotions, because your business might not change. Your situation might not change. All the things you have to do will always be there, and they will still be there tomorrow. But you can determine how you respond to them. You can determine the emotions that come out of you. And the very first thing is determine to regulate your emotion. Make up your mind you're going to regulate your emotion. Maybe before you get to that point, you actually accept that you have this challenge with your emotion. When I was telling you about my raising my children, until the day I told myself, oh my goodness, I'm constantly saying I am tired, so much so that as I walk through the door, my kids say, "You're tired, right?" There's even nothing else to say. They believe you're tired, right? And I just thought, wow, that is not a good testament. That is not what I want to see of myself. That is not what I want my children to remember me for when they grow up. Because you know what? This is what they will remember. And I made up my mind I was going to change something. So I had to admit first. I guess where to start from then is, look inwards and say, should I need to agree, or look and say, all right, I'm not really doing good at this. I have an outburst when I'm exhausted, or I go crying, or I shut down, whatever it is you do. Admit it to yourself, then make up your mind you're going to regulate that. You're going to regulate that reaction. I guess the question then is, how on earth do you regulate a reaction? I always believe something. The moment you know of a problem, the problem is half solved. You know what? Because you're not conscious of it. You're not conscious of it. So the question to tell yourself is, all right, every time I'm tired, I have an outburst. I admit I don't like having an outburst. So I admit it. How do I regulate it? Okay, it's my exhaustion that make me have the outburst. So how can I manage the situation that gets me to that point of exhaustion? Can I make sure that I don't get myself worked up to that point? Is there something I can do to rest and relax a little bit in between my busy schedules? And then if all fails getting to that point, and I'm really now exhausted, how can I make up my mind I am not going to have an outburst? I always believe that the moment you choose to have a key against something, that thing can't hold you back anymore. So the day you start saying, well, you know what, the moment I'm really, really exhausted, rather than having an outburst, I'm going to count to 10. You say, oh, please, yes. The moment you get conscious of something, you have a plan, a strategy, and you say, the moment I'm really, really exhausted, I get to this point, I'm going to count to 10. And then you start counting. I'm going to go for a walk. You go for a walk. I'm going to go to my bedroom. Go and lie down. You do that. I'm going to. So you already have a plan. When you have a plan in place before something happens, when that thing happens, it doesn't catch you. You're not blindsided. It doesn't catch you unawares because now you can manage it. Now you can address it. Another thing I always tell people is always think about this. What exactly is the consequence of my emotional outburst or my display of my emotions? Okay, so when I display my emotions for those few minutes, I feel good, but what exactly are the consequences? Sometimes you might not know. Look at what has happened in the past, or sit down and just write down what possibly could happen. If I have an outburst, how will the children feel? How will the husband feel? How will the boss feel? How will the friend feel? What exactly will be the way they will see me, or how will this thing play out after that outburst? And I feel good and I feel relieved. What happens to everybody else around me? What happens to the environment? Now that's what I told myself when it came to the holy shop, coming back from work and letting everybody know I'm not happy with the plates in the sink. And then, because I am grumpy about it and I stay on my own and everybody's tiptoeing around me. But after that, I ask myself, okay, now you spoil the mood for the evening for everybody. I don't want to be in that kind of bubble or area where everybody is walking around eggshell because I'm not happy. No, that's not a good way of living life. So I told myself, I don't like the consequences. So because of that, I'm going to manage my emotions better. So before I go home, you know what I started doing? I will pick up my phone, I will call my children and say, any plate in the sink, try and wash it, and then they will wash it. So I remind them because I want a better situation and environment when I get back home, and that changed every single thing. So it comes with the old way to manage your emotions or manage your husbands. Always remember the impact of this thing on everybody else, and the environment around you matters. It matters a lot. I always talk about environment, and one day I'm going to tell you about how to create a healthy environment around yourself. I hope my stories today and my thoughts on managing your emotions and my little key has helped you today. If it has, make sure you share it with somebody. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, and make sure you invite somebody else also to be part of this and like this. If you really, really enjoyed it, let me know. Give me feedback. Thank you so much for your time. Go ahead and keep on managing your emotions because there's just so much to life, and life is beautiful. Yes, it's busy, but it's beautiful. All right, take care. Bye.